Today, we will be discussing an important issue that concerns women. I bet we should be all interested in listening to this. And I have a special guest in the house to do justice to that topic in the person of Christabel. Christabel, say hello to our viewers.
Hello.
Okay, if you want to hear what we have on today's episode, then stick with us after this timeout. Good to know you are still there. We know that widowhood is real, and we have watched, even in our movies, how most widows, especially young widows, are treated. Now, I have a special guest in the house for us to digest this topic and, throw more light, create awareness on how young widows especially should be treated in this part of the world. So let's just not waste much of our time. Let's dive in. Christabel, can anything ever prepare a woman for widowhood?
Well, nothing at all.
Okay. So, what are the major challenges you think young widows always face in this part of the world?
Well, especially here in Nigeria, being a widow can be very difficult, especially when it comes to the man's family. You know, majority of the families here in Nigeria are very selfish, especially when the man dies. They don't care about how the woman will bring up the children, their welfare. All they are just after is the man's properties. You know, even if he's rich, they after all his possessions. That's the next. I know a family, many families that I know of. The man died. The next thing they start asking for the property, the papers. Why some of them that are in possession of it, they seize it. You know, most of the time. So widowhood in Nigeria is complex. It's very difficult. It's very. It has. We are of disadvantage because there are more widows than widowers in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So, and it's increasing rapidly. So it's really of a disadvantage for women. It is.
So that's to say, all those things we watch in Nollywood, that is not just movies, it's real.
It's very real. It's very real. Even the other day, I was watching on Instagram something, an occasion that took place in Imo State. They forced the woman to drink the husband's corpse because they felt she was the one that killed him. They forced her to drink his corpse. The water they used to bathe him. They forced her. Can you imagine? I was like,
and somebody have the mind to even be videoing
yes. I was like, so all those things you watch in Nigerian movies, they are real.
Real.
It was appalling. I said, all those things you watch, they are actually real.
I thought it's not like I'm not acting surprised, like I don't know these things used to happen, but I thought it used to happen back then.
I thought so too.
So in this 21st century, it's still happening.
Yes.
Wow,
and then
so
now they don't care whether you have a boy or a girl. Before it was like you need to have a male child. You need to have a male child. Now I know in different scenarios whereby women with male children were being deprived of their father's assets. It happens every time.
Every day.
It happens every day. And it needs to be stopped.
But why do you think this kind of thing happen? Is it just a cultural thing, or is it just human nature?
It's not human nature, because we can't say it's human nature. White people, are they not humans? And they don't do those kind of things. Or other African countries, they don't do those kind of things. Mostly in Nigeria, where tradition is ruling. There's more of traditionalists than Christians. Yes. Or then, yes, there is. I know it sounds funny, but there's more of traditionalists than Christians. Most of them go in disguise of Christianity, but they are doing tradition at the back. So now, most of them look at the wife as not being part of the family, because I don't understand why she will get married. She marries your son and then he dies and he has kids with her. Then you deprive the kids of their father's sweat. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Yeah? And it's so sad. And the worst part is that we are all humans. We cannot tell when this kind of thing can happen to any. I mean, death is inevitable end. And we cannot tell when it will come. So for somebody to have mind, to the extent that your mind will be this hardened to treat a widow this way is so sad, because your tomorrow is not guaranteed. You don't even know when it will
Yes.
happen to you. And you don't even, I bet you, wherever you are, you won't be happy that somebody is treating your wife this way and your children.
Mm.
And your children, if sometimes I will be like, okay, even if you don't like the wife, what about the children?
What about
The
the
children, okay,
children?
the so-called children that is your blood. You feel that one is blood. Maybe wife is not blood. The children, uncle. It's so sad. It's so sad. But how do you think we can curb it? But before we get to that level, there are some people who believe, as in some women who don't see anything wrong in stuffs like this. Don't you think so? I hear that some women who don't feel anything, because I know these days, most times when your husband dies, you have to shave your hair. Sometimes you have to wear white clothes in mourning. That one is not as serious or severe as that of drinking that dead body, the water from the dead body. That one is, it looks like is harmless, and some women believe is okay. Do you think it's okay? Do you think women actually believe this is okay?
Well, according to their tradition, especially here in Nigeria, and mostly in the East, I don't know if Northerners do that. They don't. Mostly in the East, they believe shaving hair and putting on white is honoring your husband. They believe that. And if you don't do it, they look at you as a, I don't know, maybe as a bad wife or something like that. So it's their tradition. Most women, me personally, I have no issues with that. You barb your hair, white, we put on white. But the where I have issues is putting on white every time. You know, the white, putting on white of a thing, it should be something of that day.
Okay.
After that day, she remove it, and then that low cost alone is enough now. After that day, she can live, wear normal clothes, live a normal life. It doesn't mean she never loved the husband. She loves the husband, but different, many people have other people that don't do it, other cultures that don't do it.
Doesn't
Doesn't
mean
mean they
that
don't,
they don't love the man.
So
Okay.
I think that it's the tradition of a thing is okay. Most women accept it. Yes. So
But I feel most women accept it, and the very few who don't accept it, maybe that white kind of looks like labeling. If once I see a woman in this part of the world, see a woman on white, with white necklace and all of that every day, I'll just say to myself, okay, maybe she's bereaved. Maybe
yes.
women don't like that attention, that labeling. Maybe. Anyway, that apart, let's talk about the ways out. How do we change this mentality? How do we change? Because whether we like it or not, we are in this society. We are not going anywhere. We're already from this side. We are from this side. How do you think we can change the society? Because I know that we can change our society.
Yes, we
In fact,
can.
that's one of the reasons why we do
We
this
can.
type of videos on this channel, so that we can always learn and relearn. You learn from us, we learn from you. That's why I will always say, please keep it lively in the comment section. We want to hear your own opinion. Let us all learn together. Nobody is epitome of knowledge. We just learn from each other. Which way, or how do you think we can come out of this horrible culture and tradition?
Well, first and foremost, I think it starts with the man, the husband involved. When you marry when you marry your wife, I think you should teach your family to love and accept her by the way you also treat her and the way you handle issues during conflicts. Yes. You shouldn't,
Yes.
because some men, any small issue, they
They
rush
run
to
to the
the family.
mommy.
Yes.
They run to
They
the
run to
mommy.
their mommy. Any small issue, they run there. And then, most times, family, they don't forget. So now they will start picturing you as a
A
bad
bad
wife.
wife,
Yes.
yeah.
Even when you guys have settled.
And the worst
So
part is that they will even know how you people, that you people have so made up, you know?
yes.
It's so sad.
So it starts with the man actually. And then another issue is that he needs to be transparent with his wife. The document shouldn't be far from his wife. The wife should know everything he has, especially when kids are involved. The wife should be part of his family. That's why she's a wife. Bible says when two come together, they become one. That's why she's a wife. She needs to be part and parcel of everything concerning your family, your whole well-being, your whole assets. That's where the problem is from. The other time a husband died, he had a secret account of 15 million. And then his normal account was just changed there. The wife didn't know about it at all. So when he died, the family came, took the shop they had, the car, and then the house, they locked it. She was stranded. She had to go back to her father's house. Yes, she had to go back to her father's house. It's after a while, maybe after 2 years, suffering and the rest, she really suffered. And she has 1 girl and 2 boys. Yes, she had boys. So now, after a while, the manager called her on phone because I don't know how did he get her the number. The story was not really
clear.
Yes,
maybe next
but
of
one
kin
thing,
or
let me just
something.
cut the story short. He called her on phone and said the husband, she didn't know that her husband was dead. Husband kept appearing to her in the dream, saying, I give my wife the money, give my wife the money. He kept appearing to her. So it was like shocking to her. And as of that moment, she was really in need of money, falling from grass to grace. So he gave her she gave her the 15 million that was saved in his secret account, savings account, that she didn't know about. So she started life from there. She started business from there.
It's so sad. It's so sad. And I must applaud that bank manager because we've had issues like this. I know there was one that trended on social media, whether the bank, made away with the money when they realized the man was dead.
They do it a lot.
They do it a lot. That's how they make money, allegedly. That's how they make money. I know there's one case that trended that time. I can't remember whether it was VDM or so that was handling something like that.
Yes, I heard about it.
It trended a lot. So it's so sad. So you can see it's not just about the man, the family, even us as individuals that make up the society. We have to be transparent. We have to, hold ourselves accountable. Yes, because if this bank manager did not return this money to this widow, she will keep suffering. Yes.
Till the kids grow and maybe find their
feet. Up till now, there are some families that have so much wealth stashed somewhere, but they are still suffering because the husband or even the wife died without revealing such situation. But before I digress, let's talk about young widow and marriage or remarrying. Do you think it's ideal for young widow to want to remarry, especially when they've had kids, boys and girls, for the late husband?
Well, if you hear a woman saying she doesn't want to remarry, there are 2 things involved. Maybe her past marriage was horrible. She doesn't want to go through that phase again. And then secondly, she has not found a man that accepts her truly with her kids. And such men are scarce, actually.
Rare, yes. They are actually rare.
Very rare. So I think most women want a companion. Because I think most women, nobody wants to be lonely.
Alone, yeah.
So I advise, most women would want to. I feel it should be normal for a woman to want to remarry. A woman should remarry if she sees a good man, not a man that will come with conditions. Let no man divide you and your kids.
Some people will say, why don't you leave this child or leave these children with your parents? I will take care of them, maybe send them money and all of that, but let's go and start our own life. And do you think is ideal?
Majority of the time, most men that say that, when they start having their kids with you, they are going to forget your children. Most men that say that. So don't agree. I advise any young widow not to agree to such, unless her kids were already with their parents when he met her. But if their kids are living with her and he comes up with such condition, I don't advise any widow to accept it. Most times when you end up having kids for the man, he's going to forget your kids.
It's true.
The kids you have with him are his kids. To him, most times he forgets your kids. That's it.
And I feel as a young widow, if a man loves you, one of your criteria of loving back or even wanting to accept the proposal is that the man shows the same love to your children. because your children are part of you.
Yes.
It's almost inseparable. But I think you should not. No man should come in, like she said, come in between you and your children. Except there's other reasons, cogent reasons why it should be so, but not just because the man says, "I just want you to want us to start, a family without your children." I think that's the much
I
we
want
can
to
take.
advise young widows. Being a young widow can be very challenging. It's not easy at all, especially when your kids are. Of course, a young widow will have young kids. So, especially when your kids are young, they need all the parental guidance ever. So it's very challenging. I advise widows to put God first in everything, and also to be very careful, especially when it comes to men, with men, because men can be very, they come with different
They see
patterns
that you
and
are
different.
vulnerable.
Yes, see, you are
You are
vulnerable.
here, of
You know,
course.
some are not just coming with good intentions. So especially with when it comes to the issue of men, I advise young widows to be very careful. Put God first and family first.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. What role do you think the woman's family should play in all this?
What role do I think?
The woman's family, the young widow's
Okay.
family should play in all this.
Well, most of the time, support comes from the woman's side
Okay.
than her husband's side. That's one thing I've observed most of the time. Because few widows I talk to, they tell you, because the woman, women, we have this special gift of being caring,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to our own.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman, her family, most of the time, they are being supportive than the man's family. Yes, because a man's family see you more as some families see you more as an outsider. So maybe they care, even if they show care, maybe it's towards your
The
children you
children.
have with their
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
It's your family that show more concern about the whole thing. Yes.
Okay, I think that's the much we can take. But remember to tell us your opinion in the comment section, because we are here to learn and relearn. I bet you there might be a young widow watching us today. So just like she might be learning from what we're saying, we want her also to learn from the comment section. So keep it honest, keep it transparent, keep it respectful in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, share it if you can. And from here, we say bye-bye.